Hi everyone, number one Marmaduke fan here. It is New Comic Book Day, and I haven't read these issues yet, so this isn't going to be a review. This is just going to be me showing off my pull list, and I'm going to make a point why I buy comics and maybe some good things I think would be healthy for the industry. But mostly, I just want to share this moment with you guys. Come on. Can he do it, guys? Can he move a plastic bag? All right, Charleston Chew. Okay, so Spirits of Vengeance is coming. This is from my comic book store that gives me 3 free old school comic books on a Wednesday. So, you know, I'm reading new Spirits of Vengeance. What the heck? Let's see what the old one was about. Okay, so Monsters Unleashed. Do they still have the same kid on that? Ricardo? I don't remember. I'll review it later. So, DuckTales, I got the alternate cover. Like I've said in my reviews, I think it's an adorable style. Ragman, someone recommended that to me, and I don't know, I'm digging it so far. It's kind of dynamic, sort of feels like almost DC's version of Venom, where he's got these voices in his head and a Spider-Man-ish style of fighting. Cable doesn't have Sinar on it, but I still enjoyed the quality of the art of the last issue. Jean Grey, I'm trying to decide, is Jean Grey slowly paced or is it okay paced? They had interesting things happen in every issue. It just took 9 issues for the Phoenix to show up. So that was a bit of a stretch in the pacing, but it looks like the Phoenix has finally shown up. All right, my boy. I used to do like these first day reviews of Mr. Miracle, and I wasn't getting much views or feedback on that because I think I was being too quick and immediate in my thoughts. So I actually have what might be kind of a controversial opinion about issue 4. I do not think that Gerards should have copy-pasted his drawings so much in such a simple story. Now, the only defense of that could be, well, maybe they're doing a bit about minimalism because they're doing minimalistic panel compositions. They're doing very minimalistic kinds of drawings of Mr. Miracle sitting and contemplating within the panels. So maybe that was purposeful, but I doubt it. I don't think you copy-paste a drawing without being purposeful about it. And I think that issue 4 should have had every subtle moment drawn, and you could, even if all you did was you traced over your old drawing, just the act of tracing over your old drawing would save you time and would add a little bit of variety to the poses of Mr. Miracle sitting and looking stern. So I'll have to go back to issue 4 to talk about that. But I'm still enjoying Star Wars. But I forgot what issue 39 was about. I think it was just sort of 38 and 39, the Han, Luke, and Leia are meeting with this other group of rebels who are a bit more radical than they are, a little bit more of a take no prisoners approach to fighting the Empire. So it feels like something that could have been like, it has the good qualities of the movies. You know, the trio being the trio, dangerous situations. Luke's idealistic. Han is rough. Leia is a good negotiator. I'm really enjoying it since I hopped, what was it, issue 35 or 36, the Han Solo story. Ever since then, I've really been digging the Star Wars comic, and it hasn't disappointed. I thought about hopping off the Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider bandwagon, but I kind of want to see this out. I vaguely recognize all these. I've told the story before about how I had a collection of Spider-Man comics from the very first one up to the 90s, and I think that collection petered out around the Clone Saga, or maybe my interest petered out around the Clone Saga. So I don't know many of these alternate identities for Spider-Man, but they're assembling all of these alternate secret identities that Peter has had. So I want to see that through. This was on my pull list, and I didn't have the heart to tell him to put it back. So all right, I'll do an issue 3. I'll probably roast it. We'll see. Batman White Knight. They sold out, and I'm so glad I'm doing the pull list now, because that's the only reason I'm getting all the alternate covers for these. Guardians of the Galaxy, I've been enjoying every issue. I don't know. Some people have roasted Spirits of Vengeance. I really dig this. I don't know. I mean, I've never had like the most dark, taste in the comics I get. I didn't like many of their kind of hellish, edgelord type of characters. But the art is really good and appealing to me. Well, we'll see. These are future reviews. Okay, Joe Books, same guys who did the Darkwing Duck comics. They do a lot of Disney licenses. They have a Disney Princess line, which I'm thinking about because I'm interested in things that very few others in the Comicsgate community seem to be interested in. I'm really interested in what people make for kids. I see that as forming the next generation. So I would read Disney Princess comics, not because I'm the biggest... Well, I like the Disney Princess movies, but I'm not a fanatic about Disney Princess memorabilia. But I would read those just to see what they're doing with the princess characters. And boy, the Disney princesses are loaded in feminist conversations. Man, you know why BuzzFeed's always got like top 10 feminist Disney princess redesigns or whatever? These are iconic characters for everyone. Boys grow up watching the Disney movies and they like these characters, okay? But yeah, I feel like this is on the level of, Spider-Man, Peter Parker in informing young girls' lives especially. So I'm going to keep checking it out. All right, so I asked them about the Donald Duck comics, and apparently it's published as just Walt Disney's Comics and Stories. So it's kind of a grab bag of various Disney characters, maybe primarily Donald Duck. Oh, that get a little fold in it? Whatever. I give these away so I don't get too bent out of shape if there's a little damage or crease in my comic. All of these should be on IDW digitally, I think. Got some of the alternate covers. There's a Funko doll cover, which I thought would be fun just to laugh at with you guys. It was okay drawn, but it's still just... The Funko doll designs are still weak. I couldn't bring myself to do it, so I got this one, which I thought was very nicely composed. Okay, and I got caught up on all the Uncle Scrooges that I missed. As soon as I realized, wow, these are good. Even the owner at the comic book store, he agreed with me. Yeah, kind of Karl Barks-esque in the level of quality they're reaching. They're not just aping Karl Barks or copy-pastaing everything together. This is real drawing. And, oh boy, I'm so excited. Issue 5, Issue 4, Issue 3, Issue 2, and Issue 1. Oh man, I cannot wait. Issue 0 was such a strong start. Yes. Okay, this series is done though. So, it's going to be we're going to have a beginning, middle, and end. Man, I hope they bring it back. I hope... Please, IDW, please bring this character back. I'm going to read these. I'll tell you if I think they're all as strong as Issue 0, but wow, Zach talks about having aftershocks of cringe. I've still got aftershocks of wow from Duck Avenger #1. All right, so that was pile number 1. We're not done. I get a little crazy, guys, because I noticed when Zach did his recommendation of Cyborg, I think issue 19, that DC is finally doing digital codes with their comics. So now it's time to talk about how I'm kind of weird, and one contributing reason for why I got back into Marvel was Marvel having those digital codes, which for a lot of people might seem like old hat. Okay, whatever, I get a digital comic with it. But I live in a dinky little apartment, and I do not want tons and tons of comics piling up in my apartment. So when I say I give away most of my comics, that's not just me kind of humble bragging about how special I am. That's me just like not wanting to step on a stack of comics and trip and fall. Excuse me. Wow, bad cough squad. Green Berets here. So, yeah, but that's just me not wanting to live with too much junk in my dinky apartment. So, because of that, that means that the Marvel digital codes were a real selling point for me. It meant that if I bought it and didn't like it, well, whatever, I'm going to give it away. I'm not going to save it forever. And I can have the digital code if I want to roast it later. If I want to do a vlog about it, I don't have to scan a bunch of pages and Photoshop them all together to talk about it. I can just use screenshots from my computer when I read them on my computer, so it's good for me if I want to vlog about them later. And so that totaled up to me just being way more interested in Marvel comics where I could get the digital code and give the comic away than DC comics where I could read it and like it and then be torn on whether to give it away or not and whether to buy it again in digital form. So now that I'm getting that free digital comic code, DC, customer feedback here. Give me more of this. I want it all. Give me more. All right, so let's see what we got. All-Star Batman apparently ended when let's just take the bag off so I don't have to reach my hand in every single time. All-Star Batman apparently ended when Metal started, and I'm pretty interested in Metal. I mean, Zach wrote it, but the thing is, if I'm going to hop back into DC, I want to hop back into my favorite core characters, and I'm not too interested in hopping back right in the middle of a big event. I guess Rebirth is probably the best time for me to ever hop back into DC and just read up all of Rebirth, because I completely missed New 52. I didn't get what New 52 was even supposed to be. They replaced Batman with Jim Gordon, which was kind of weird. So I'm going to make Rebirth my hopping in point for getting into DC Universe stuff again. All right, and I got the variants. I don't know why I got the variants. I haven't even read this. What if I hate it? But I figured well, that's it. There's this what the heck factor. 8 didn't have a digital code, but whatever. But there's this what the heck factor where if I know that I'm going to give it away and I'm going to get the digital code, and I figured, well, you know what? I'll take a risk. I love my boy Batman. He and Spider-Man might be tied in coolness factor for my two favorite superheroes. My favorite comic of all time was the Batman Spider-Man crossover. Everyone's talking about Disney buying up Fox. Hey Disney, buy up Warner Brothers so we can have a Batman Spider-Man movie adaptation of those comics or something, or a whole new line of them. So since I bought some duplicates, what I'm thinking is that I'm going to make the digital codes of my duplicates a prize for liking, commenting, and sharing a video. And I'm actually going to make this video the first one where you can earn a digital code, because I know exactly which one I want to give away. So let's keep flipping through to find it. There's also this excitement factor for me of finding new artists. I almost bought up all of our boy Ethan Van Sciver's back issues of Green Lantern, but it looks like someone help me out. Is Ethan taking a break from Hal Jordan Green Lantern? Because I only saw his name on some of the older back issues, and I'm waiting for like a good sale to go buy up all the back issues to make it a little easier on my wallet. But so yeah, as soon as if DC starts doing this with more of their books, it almost seemed like they were doing it on some of like their less famous characters. Like Batman and Superman didn't have it that much, but Blue Beetle and Cyborg and Batgirl had the digital codes, and All-Star Batman, which I guess was just kind of its own series. So it's almost like they're using the digital codes to push some of their less iconic characters. Deathstroke. Yeah, Blue Beetle. I really liked in Batman the Brave and the Bold. They told a story with the new Blue Beetle, and he's like a Hispanic kid replacing the old Blue Beetle. But Blue Beetle was already a kind of a legacy character where, like the Phantom, there was already this established pattern of the old Blue Beetle passing the mantle on to a new Blue Beetle. He's kind of different, that there's this aliens symbiote vibe to it that the old Blue Beetle had. But Batman the Brave and the Bold really built up this character as an interesting character. Man, I've got a thesis on how pretty much the animated cartoons, since kids don't go into comic book shops, the animated cartoons are where it's at in building up these characters in kids' minds. Maybe even more than the movies, of making these guys seem cool. Because I don't know about you, but Cyborg, I care about Cyborg because of the Teen Titans cartoon. Blue Beetle, I'm only remotely interested in Blue Beetle because of how well he was portrayed in the Batman Brave and the Bold show. So, and you can make a diversity character who's replacing an older character work if you build him up and give him a story. You can make it work. Yes. And he's good in Young Justice too. They have paid attention to building up this kind of third tier, who the heck knows who Blue Beetle is character into something based on his appearances in the kinds of media that kids watch. All right, here we go. Announcement time. So I already got the digital code for Cyborg number 19 on Comixology. So everyone, if this is the digital code, I'm going to keep the physical copy of this, but the digital code for Cyborg number 19, Zach recommended this as the number one superhero one-shot of the year. If you would like the digital code for this, subscribe, hit the bell, like, and comment, and then I don't even know if I know how to tell if you're subscribed or not, so maybe this is honor system, but if I can tell that you've liked, comment, commented and subscribed, I'm going to put all the comments in a random number generator, and one lucky winner will win the digital code to Cyborg number 19. I completely agree with Zach. This is a story with heart. They're doing something with the character that gets to the core of who he is, and I can't wait for issue 20. It might be sad if this goes, but maybe a really good sales on issue 20 would send a little signal to DC that, hey, people actually do like this character. I don't know. Since they're doing digital codes, I might go buy up all the old Cyborgs and read that for myself now to evaluate if he really is just a goofball kind of, I don't know, sad, morose type sad sack in the old issues, or if he has some of that fun bounce from the TV show. The digital code is a selling point for a guy like me who sees comic books as something I read and give away or read and get rid of, and I don't treasure them in a little sack forever, except for maybe about like 5% of the comics I buy. And then Aquaman, right? It's been cool to hate on Aquaman for years. I used to kind of joke about how silly he seemed in Super Friends. He seems kind of ridiculous because all of Super Friends is ridiculous. But what the heck? If I get a free digital comic, I will try out Aquaman. And I don't know. And since I'm willing to risk it, then I'll even like pick up the variants because whatever. If I really like it, I might save the variant and don't want to come back and get it later. I have more to give away. And all my duplicates I will make prizes to in a future video. I've got to figure out which ones are the duplicates right now. So the prize for this video is the digital code for Cyborg number 19. Future videos I will keep giving away duplicate digital codes I get and physical comics. I think I'm going to just make old Moon Knight the giveaways because I want someone to treasure those Moon Knights. These kind of new comics, I just put them in a donation pile to get, hopefully get, parents and kids interested in these characters, and they can go to the comic book store and see these comics being sold and the immediate follow-ups being sold. But I don't like throwing really nice old comic books in donation bins. If it's something where you might sell it for $8, I kind of want that to go to someone who will really treasure it and really love it. So I'm number one Marmaduke fan. That is my new comic book day pile. Wow, 17 minutes just to look at my pile. Okay, this was a big spending day for me, but DC, please, please, please do this. Do this all the way, 100%. I've been buying Marvel all year in spite of Marvel producing what I consider to be inferior books, even though you've got a lower price point, because I am one of these people who sees my comic books as something to read and give away and not keep in a box forever. Please, please, please do this with everything, and I will probably buy all of DC's titles if they did that, especially Batman and Superman. I love you guys. I'm number one Marmaduke fan. If you want that digital code, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and I will get a random number generator. The cutoff point, I think, I'm kind of a small channel, so I will give people like 2 days to like, comment, and subscribe to enter to get that digital code. So, love you guys. Catch you later.